Radiance Band.
Comes creeping in that you never loved me or her or anyone or anything.
Dire's Band. Radiant Team Band.
Right, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the joinDOTA League Season 1. My name's JT. Joining me is absolutely no one today. I'm looking over to my left hand side where my imaginary co-caster would normally sit, and there's no one here. I'm alone. This is sad. So I'm relying on you guys to be my co-casters today. You guys watching in the stream, can you offer your co-casting analysis in the stream chat, preferably with lots of kappa? That would be absolutely great. So we've got a Group 1 joinDOTA League game here today. Pezza for Life taking on Status Nightclub Bangor. I casted one of Pezza for Life's games in the ESL ladder the other day. They took on Reason Gaming and were awfully outclassed, it seemed. They got absolutely destroyed. Let's hope they can bounce back nicely for this game here. Into the draft already. Banning out the Timbersaw and the Slark. Status Nightclub Bangor responding by banning out the Bristleback and Bounty Hunter. Don't see Bounty Hunter banned so early that often anymore. So maybe Status Nightclub Bangor just don't like him. They don't like him. Who cares? Pezza for Life going to get the Crystal Maiden and the Marana. Two really strong heroes at the moment. Nothing really giving away with their strategy. Both of them can push well. They can counter push well. And they're good roamers. Status Nightclub Bangor going with the Alchemist and Clockwork. Once again, nothing intense to say there. Nothing really spectacular coming out in the draft here. Just good, solid drafting. Alchemist and Clockwork, both really strong heroes. Crystal Maiden and Alchemist, both excellent roamers as well. So expect to see a lot of supports running around, smoking up, looking for those kills. Obviously Marana, a carry or an offlane with a lot of early kill potential.
Radiance pick.
So the Lifestealer going to be banned out by Pezza for Life. Strong carry. Banning out the OD as well. So they're probably going to go for an intellect based mid. Something that would have trouble with OD. Status Nightclub Bangor, they've replied with the Viper. Now where's the Viper going to go? We've seen him played a lot as the sort of solo lane farmer recently, who then just rushes up a quick mech. Because that's all you really need on Viper. In the pro scene really. In sort of competitive edge Dota. Is, you know, you get that mech on the Viper, he's tanky enough, he actually does enough damage with Nether Toxin to be a real thorn in the side the moment he's got that mech. Get in those early fights, do absolutely tons of damage, saves the Alchemist of the Clockwork, saves another support having to get a mech. It's nice to see. Pezza for Life, they're going full roam. Full roam. When in Rome, roam around and try and kill things. They're going with a Sand-King. And along with the Crystal Maiden and the Marana, that's a lot of stun. It's a lot of lockdown. And Status Nightclub Bangor, their only lockdown really comes from sort of a hookshot cogs in and an Alchemist stun. So they're maybe going to have to look to get something that can deal with that. Thing is, they've got a couple of good BKB carriers as well. Alchemist and Viper carry their BKBs really well. They're the sort of items you actually want to get on those heroes. So hey, who knows?
Reserve time.
So if you've just tuned in, my name's JT. You can find me at Tweets by JT. That's my Twitter handle. I should get that up on this drafting screen. Also, what do you think of the drafting screen? Let me know. Type your comments into the Twitch chat. Give me a tweet at Tweets by JT, or find me on Reddit. I recently posted a sort of roundup of what's gone in the joinDOTA League past couple of weeks and what to expect from this week. And you know what? I was right for a lot of it. The teams who I thought would win have probably won. So let's see what happens here. Pezza for Life, Status Nightclub Bangor. I have no idea how this is going to go. I think, given what I've seen of both teams so far, I think it's going to be a 1-1. Of course, this isn't a best of 3, so who knows what we're going to see. Status Nightclub Bangor now taking their time. They banned out the Venomancer. Makes me think they're looking for something that maybe has a bit of push now. That might be the case. They're just going to take their time. They're going to go for the Vengeful Spirit. So strong counter pushing support. More lockdown. Another stun. An excellent positioning tool with swap. and we might be able to see some interesting things going on with a hook shot in, maybe a swap to get someone out of there who shouldn't be in there. It'll be interesting to see how they use that swap. Rubik's the pick from Pezza for Life, and he's now got a lot of spells to steal. A lot of really good spells to steal. So much lockdown on this team. Crystal Maiden's got a stun, well, she's got a disable. Mirana has the arrow, Sand King has the burrow strike, Rubik has a telekinesis and whatever he can steal from SMB.
10 seconds.
Lots of lockdown on Pezza for Life. So you're going to expect them to be looking to take a lot of fights, a lot of skirmishes, just because they can, and also look to gank a lot as well. They're a fighting lineup. I love their fighting. So it's down to final bands. Status Nightclub Bangor, they're going to take out the carry. They're going to take out the Luna. And it looks like Pezza for Life, yeah, they're going to look for that carry. They've got the Crystal Maiden Rubik as support. Sand King maybe mid. I'm not sure. They've got 3 supports in this lineup. Well, 3 heroes that are commonly played as support. So it'll be interesting to see where they put this Sand King. Or whether they go with the Rubik mid. That could be a case as well. But it looks like both teams sort of looking for that hard carry, as it were. Pezza for Life going to ban out the Lena. Not too sure about that, man. Not too sure what they're aiming to take away. I think they could have took away something a lot stronger carry-wise. But hey, who knows what they're going to go with. Let's have a quick look at the group and how it's looking. UK Group 1, I haven't got it up on the screen at the moment, but Pezza for Life have a 3-1 record, Status Nightclub Bangor have a 2-2 record, so teams within 1 win of each other, so they could potentially leapfrog the other one with a good win here. Oxbros are leading that group though, 6 wins to 0. Long way. Status Nightclub Bangor gonna go for the gyrocopter, and Pezza for Life taking the Invoker, which makes me think probably an off-lane Sand King or an off-lane Rubik. I'm not sure. It will be interesting to see how they're going to lane this. Status Nightclub Bangor, they're going with that Viper on the solo, well, Clockwork on the solo lane, probably the Viper mid, Alchemist, Vengeful Spirit roaming supports, and it'll probably be a Gyro in that safe lane farming. So we'll see what happens here. I don't know if you can hear it. It's very windy where I am in the UK at the moment. I have no idea how it is for the players here. Status Nightclub Bangor, probably from somewhere in Wales.
10 seconds.
So as an Englishman I have to say, boo Welsh, boo. Okay, there we go. There we go. Constitutional racism out of the way. And let's just change my overlay so it shows who's actually casting, because Hollywood's not with me for this game. He may be with me for the next one though. So those of you tuning in who are big Hollywood fans, there you go. Slight pause here. The Rubik's going to pick up smoke. So let's have a look who we have on the dire side. It's going to be Pezza for Life. And that's going to be Devon on the Crystal Maiden. Sand King's going to be played by Stulin, looking to head to that off lane. Mirana, played by Hutch. Invoker going to be handled by Crane, going those early points in Exhort, leaving Ranju on the Rubik. On the side of the Radiant, we have Status Nightclub Bangor. They are all rolling up to the off lane now, all rolling up to the enemy jungle. Skinhead is going to be playing that Clockwork. That's Tay on the gyrocopter. Shaw's going to be taking the Vengeful Spirit. Standing there, Mercus on the Alchemist, leaving the Rectum. Very inventive name there on that Viper.
30 seconds to battle.
And they're just going to roll up to this lane here. Look to see if they can make something happen. Backing off just a little bit though. Are they going to look to ward up that pool camp? Yep, they're going to drop a sentry ward right in that pool camp. Expect Pezza for Life to notice that. When you send all 5 there, it's pretty obvious that you're going to ward the pool camp. And that's a pretty obvious warding spot. Auspicious Spring Ward there. Somebody got that from his offering. I got the Drow Cat Ears. Useful. Amazing. I never played Drow Ranger. Do I look Brazilian? No. Ugh. Let's see how they're laning this. Skinhead's going to be on that off-lane clockwork. It's going to be the Murano Rubik Crystal Maiden defensive tri-lane. Sanking in the off-lane. He's going to have some trouble against this defensive tri-lane here of the Alk, the Venge and the Gyrocopter. Lots of damage, lots of lockdown, lots of kill potential, leaving the Invoker to go 1-on-1 with the Viper. Fireworks go off as we are into the game, 36 seconds in now, and let's have a look at the last hits and denies. And the only person with any last hits and denies on the board is the Rectum. There we go, other people are getting them now. 3-1. And it's just your standard defensive tri-lane versus defensive tri-lane Dota here. So we'll look to see these supports try and get some kills, maybe rotating around to mid to get some ganks off. Rectum's up pretty far, getting a lot of Nether Toxin harass onto Crane. Crane's picked up that point in Quas as well, so he's going Quas Exort. Although he may look to pick up some points in Wex later and just going for the Quas Exort just for the utility early in lane. Probably not though, ping's flying out bot. That pull camp hasn't spawned yet. I think they've already used it to pull though. Stulin's getting experience though. He hasn't got any farm though. Skinhead has managed one farm. One whole CS. GG, as they say. And you know what, let's have a nice little relaxed cast here. It's a Sunday night. It's 8 o'clock here in the UK. It's been a busy week, lots of things going on. Let's have a nice relaxed cast and game of Dota. And naturally, as I say that, everything's going to go to pot. Everybody's going to get lots of different things. Bottle coming out there for the Rectum. He's gone 2 points into the poison attack. Only 1 point into the Nether Toxin. So he's looking to harass a lot with his orb. And he's doing well last hits. He's got 12 to the Invoker 7. Both off laners here, just playing nice and defensively. Let's have a look how supports are building. 1 point Magic Missile, 1 point Wave of Terror, standard Vengeful Spirit build. What's Mercus doing on that Alchemist? He's got just the point in him to stay with Concoction. And that was because he sort of went up as a 5 stack with everybody else. Now the Rectum's picked up an invisibility rune. He'll have been spotted out by this Dire Ward. But will they get far enough back? And Hutch has to be careful because he was very far forward there. Rectum's going to walk right over a sentry ward though. They're going to spot him out, but he's going to be fine. He sees the creep attacking him. He knows they've got vision around there. He's just going to flap away dejected. Leaving Crane to get a bit more XP and catch up to him on last hits. So not the most successful of ganks there. That ward basically saying, nope, no chance. Such a standard observer ward. So useful though, so useful. Now Crane, it's obvious that P4L are expecting a gank to come through on Crane. They've warded up this popular ganking route right here. But so far nothing to go. 3.5 minutes in. It's just a little bit of farm wars. Nobody's really standing out ahead. 2 points in the rocket barrage for the Gyrocopter. So he's going for maximum damage when he gets a chance to sidle up next to the Sand King. But lane control not going too well. Alchemist not pulling especially well. He could have pulled there. It means Stulin's getting experience. He's level 4 now. But then so Skinhead, he's hitting level 5. So neither of these sets of supports really exerting a lot of lane control. Some pulls going through, but lack of pulling through. And not really zoning out the opposing off lane either, which is gonna have an impact. Because soon Skinhead's gonna have his hook shot. Soon Stulin's gonna have epicenter. So expect both of these off laners to have a factor. Now here we go, first smoke of the game. It's Alchemist, it's Vengeful Spirit. They see Crane just a little bit forward. They're gonna wait patiently down here on the opposite side, so they've got the ward. Shaw's going to get have himself spotted. Out comes the magic missile. Alchemist stun comes out. Lots of damage coming out. Shaw's taking a lot of damage. Sunstrike manages to take out Shaw. Great presence of mind there from Crane on the Invoker. Gives up the first blood but takes a kill whilst he's at it. Merca's pretty low on health as well. Nice little
Dire's
Sunstrike
middle
to come
tower
out
is
there.
under siege.
However, First Blood does go, and who does it go to? It goes to the Viper. So that Viper's that Viper's doing very well now.
Tower is under attack.
Just putting a little bit of pressure out on that tower. That tower's down to about 2/3 health. And Crane's just going to TP back into lane. He's going the Forge Spirits build, so he's building up Exort quite quickly here. Rectum, 1 point in everything, maxing out the poison attack. Lots and lots of harass. Pretty standard Viper build there. And Shaw and Merkers are just going to roll. Meanwhile, Stulin's going to pop the Epicenter, pop the Burrow Strike. Tay's going to die. That is not a solo kill. Where were his supports? Stulin's going to take a full unstable concoction, but there's no backup there from Shaw, who was pulling. Oh dear. And I said, that's going to be an issue. The fact that Sanking's got his Epicenter so early, and he gets a solo kill on the carry. It's not what you want to be giving away. So P4L definitely taking the most there. Making the most of a bad situation. Out comes the Cold Snap onto Rectum. Forge Spirits are up. He's getting pretty low on health. No Sunstrike to follow though. Invoke's ready. He could have done it. But I don't think he'd have got the damage off. Viper's just a little bit too tanky. Has a little bit too much health. Skinhead, he's lurking now. He's maybe going to see if Crane gets a little bit too far forward. He's got hook shot, he's got full mana. He can make something happen here. I don't know why he's standing there. Let's have a look at the builds here. Now the guys on P4L, they're going to take this opportunity. They're just going to push this tower down. They've got a decent sized creep wave here, a couple of range creeps. They're going to get to the tower. Chip away at the tower. They don't have a very strong pushing lineup. Rocket comes in. Doesn't really do too much. So nice slow pedestrian start still. That's what I like. That's what I like. Rectum's gonna wrap around. He's got his illusions. Not microing them around much. Let's have a look at the builds. Devon, 1-1-1. It's a pretty underleveled Crystal Maiden. Rubik, 2 points in the Telekinesis, 1 in the Fade Bolt standard. Mirana's maxing the Starstorm first, not the arrow. So not too fussed about the damage on the arrow, just fussed about the lockdown and looking for that burst damage from the Starstorm. Nice and standard. Let's have a look at the supports here. They're both level 4 and they've smoked up. They're going to go for another gank onto Crane. They're taking the exact same route. Now let's see if they show themselves as early as they did. Shaw got a little bit ahead of himself last time. Crane's playing a little bit defensively though. Stulin will have alerted him to the fact that they're missing. Out comes the Viper Strike. Crane's really slow. Magic Missile follows. There's the unstable concoction. And he can't even get the Sunstrike off. Such a strong gank. That instant stun with the Magic Missile. A perfect setup for the unstable concoction. And a preload of damage from the Viper with the Viper Strike. An easy gank there. So the kill score's level 2 for 2. Last hits and denies. Both of the carries just sort of very level with each other. 38 to 35. Both teams very even. XP and gold. About 500 in each way. 300 to 500 in each way. Really not a lot. Stulin needs to be careful. He's very far forward. He doesn't have Epicenter ready. Here comes the stun being channeled by Mercus. Flings it out onto Stulin. Manages to pop the Sandstorm. Burrow Strikes out of there. The Sentry Ward's down, but they're not going to manage. There goes Magic Missile. Creep's taking a bit of the Rocket Barrage, but it's just too much, and they managed to take out that Sand King. He was a little bit too far forward. Sunstrike tries to come out on Shaw, just misses. Might as well. Shaw's going to TP back to base now. Nothing to worry about. Sunstrike's on cooldown for a bit. Skinhead and the Rectum, meanwhile, they're lurking around, maybe looking to try and get something onto Crane. But Devon's wrapping around to help. He doesn't have boots though. Cold Snap out on Rectum. He's getting frostbited up. Hookshot comes out onto Devon, and that could be a very dead Crystal Maiden. No freezing field. Rectum's going to turn around with his DD onto Crane. Down comes the Sunstrike. Down goes Rectum. Stulin gets the Burrow Strike out onto Skinhead. Crane's going to turn around. Gets the Cold Snap out onto Skinhead. That's going to be a dead Clockwork as well. Cogs himself in though. Very nice Cogs. He was low on low health, and he bottoms himself up. Whew. He got out of that one. SMB taking the better out of that. Let's see who they've taken down. They managed to take down the Crystal Maiden.
Incoming!
Radiant's top
which was
tower
quite
is
nice.
under
Viper going down as well, though. 4 kills to 3. Rana just a little bit ahead. Not had much to do.
top tower
He's got the Ring of Aquila. Probably looking to go for an early drum as well. Get into the fights a little bit more. Now Stuhlin's been pointed out. They know he's there. He's picked up the invisibility rune. Let's see what he can get done. He's got Epicenter ready. He could channel that and Burrow Strike in. Burrow Strike's in. Channeling the Epicenter now. Tay has to be very careful. He's getting hit. Takes far too much damage from that Epi though. Doesn't even turn around to try and get some out there. In those situations, I think you've just got to turn Rocket Barrage on and hope for the best. But no. Easy kill there with the Epicenter after the invis. They knew he was invis. And to be fair, that gyro was just a little bit too far forward. Tay playing that. He's been killed twice now by that Sand King. He does have his helm with the Dominator and phase boots though. So he's not doing too badly on the farm. But he's given away 2 kills that the other carry hasn't yet. Sandstorm. Out goes the Sentry Ward. Stuhlin gets hit by the full unstable concoction. But there's just no backup again. Sure, nowhere near the Alchemist to follow up with the magic missile. If they get that, maybe they get the kill. As it stands, no. And Stuhlin continues his reign of terror down here. He's got his arcane boots already, 600 gold. He'll be looking to get that blink up soon. And now he's just terrorising now. He needs to be careful. He's in a very bad position here. A quick rotation from Mercus and Tay could lead to him dying. But no. He's just going to scuttle on away. Scorpion King, as played by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Oh yeah. Arcane Boots coming out on Skinhead as well. So both offlaners getting a lot. Stuhlin getting a lot more on that Sand King though. He's picked up 2 kills on the gyro. Whereas Skinhead, he's only managed to get 1 kill off on that Crystal Maiden. But then again, he hasn't died. He hasn't died. Now Hutch is going to rotate around. And maybe we're going to look to see something happening. 2 mid here. Rectum's going to get taken down by a Cold Snap and a Frostbite. Skinhead flings a rocket in the way, but Crane, he can just regen up with those Quas Orbs, no problem. No points in Wex yet. Just going that max Forge Spirits build. He's going to have 2 Forge Spirits now. Out comes the Moonlight Shadow. Let's see what Hutch and Stuhlin are going to manage to do here. They're rolling forward, they're barreling forward. I don't think it's been spotted out, this Moonlight Shadow. So they're going to find Tay. This could be very dangerous. 1 Burrow Strike into Arrow. Burrow Strike goes. Arrow flies. Tay gets hit. Instantly dead Gyrocopter. Pops down the cooldown. It's not going to do much though. Successful Moonlight Shadow gank there. Really well executed. Not really much they could do to actually stop that, short of having sentries just everywhere. Now Ping's flying out. They can see Stuhlin in their jungle. They know he's there. Hutch is just going to help push down. No tower's gone down yet. So a bit of a slow start. 4 kills to 6. Pezza for Life getting the better out of the ganking so far. Here comes the stun channel. Hutch and Stuhlin are going to get away though. Mercus throws it out onto Stuhlin. There's the Sandstorm. Acid Spray goes down. Magic Missile out on him as well. He tries to Burrow Strike, just doesn't escape. Hutch manages to go away with his life though. Meanwhile mid lane, a little bit of pushing with those 2 Forge Spirits now. And they're still such good pushing familiars. Even though they've had their armour dropped, they're still very strong at doing this. And obviously they still reduce enemy armour by quite a lot. Hutch, he's fine. He's got his drums now, he's got his Aquila, he's got his fighting tools ready for those early fights. Boots finally up on the Rubik, Tranquils on the CM. I was talking over this with somebody in spectator chat earlier, how Tranquils are pretty much garbage nowadays, only really good on absolute hard 5 position supports like this Crystal Maiden, because they're really not hitting things that often at all. Now we're going to have TP rotation in mid from Stuhlin. He hasn't got Epicenter for another 60 seconds though. So not looking to team fight with him. Maybe just looking to fend off a bit of a push. Both teams sort of posturing up mid. Mercus and Shaw. They've got a smoke. They've got boots. Medallion is up on the Alchemist. So they can look for something here. They can smoke up and wrap around somewhere. Out comes the Cold Snap onto Rectum. Stuhlin's going to... Concoction's being charged. But there is the Sandstorm. That's a dead Vengeful Spirit. That was a nice little rotation there from Stuhlin managing to get the kill. Nothing really came out from SMB there. Rectum kind of backed off the moment he got Cold Snapped. Blink Dagger first coming out on the Evoker. Cold Snap coming out on Mercus. He's low on mana, so he can't really get away, but he does have the Chemical Rage up, so he's inordinately tanky. Burrow Strike, Sandstorm. The Rectum taking a lot of damage. He needs to be careful. Sunstrike coming down. Bullseye! There it goes, as Clockwork says. But on his own teammate. Burrow Strike from Stool in there, just getting away from Mercus. Standing round, not doing a lot. Hookshot is going to miss, going to fail to connect onto the Sand King. So that's 2 kills now for Pezza for life, and they're really taking the best out of these little skirmishes. They're going to take the first tower of the game as well. That's going to go to the Invoker. 1k gold on him and the Blink Dagger. I'm not too sure about the Blink Dagger first choice. I think he benefits a lot more from Force Staff just because of the bonus intellect, just because he really needs that extra mana in his pool. Such a mana intensive hero, especially when Invoke still costs mana at these lower levels. But they're going to carry on pushing forward. They're going to carry on with this war of attrition, and why not? They've got the Forge Spirits, they've got the Creep Wave in their favour. Tay is just going to carry on farming there. He's got a Sentry Ward of his own, actually pulled to him by Shaw. Obviously you can now pull those, and he's going to take the tower down. So Crane's going to TP in, doesn't manage to get anything done off it. So tower wise, we're now even, but I think the better P4L have got the better tower. They've got the slightly better map control, I would say. Very defensive warding here of their own jungle from Status Nightclub Bangor. P4L, their support's not really getting a lot done. I heard a Burrow Strike. It was just on creeps. Screw you creeps, says the Sand King. I am the King of Sand. You are the King of Nothing. Mech's going to come out on the Rubik. Let's see, is Rectum getting the mech for them? Yes, he is. He's about 300 gold away. How far away is the Rubik? He's 700 gold. So that mech's going to come out first, probably for Status Nightclub Bangor. So that's going to be a big aid in these team fights. But they're just going to push this tower, get this tower pushed now. P4L taking a nice easy tower. Majority of the gold going to Sand King. 100 gold away from that Blink Dagger. Hutch and Crane, they're taking this tower down, but they're getting wrapped around by the Alchemist. Epicenter is getting... Sorry, Burrow Strike's getting channeled there. Unstable Concoction comes out onto Crane. He takes the Magic Missile as well, and the Viper Strike. Mirana Arrow misses. Whiffs in between two heroes. Status Nightclub Bangor chalk up another kill on the board. 6 kills to 8 now. Mirana TPing to the middle lane. And there's the Blink Dagger on the Sand King. So that's their big team fight item. Now, do Status Nightclub Bangor, they do have the mechanism, so they do have strong team fight of their own, but they still need to be careful. One big Blink Epi, and that's going to be a big problem. Let's see how Clockwork's doing. He's almost level 10. He's got his hook shot, maxed out the Rocket Flare, only 1 point in the cogs, which makes sense. He's not using the cogs too much in this game. It's a nice sort of solid, dependable build. Venge very badly farmed. Let's have a look at the net worth. Top 2 are the Mirana and Gyrocopter. Invoker very, very close behind, played by Crane. That Gyro, he's got his helmet, the Dominator. Ogre Club, so he's looking to build that early BKB. Is he going to have the damage in these early fights? Is the thing. He gets that BKB, he still doesn't have a lot of damage, and I think P4L have a slight bit more, especially with that Epicenter and the Starstorm and the Arrow, and that's a maxed Arrow. That's a Yasha on the Mirana as well, so she's going early damage, early team fights. I have to give these early team fights to P4L, even though Bangor have got the mech earlier. They're not in a situation where they're going to use it, and I think Ranju's going to manage to get that mech by the time that they start team fighting. Now P4L, they're posturing around Roshan. They're saying we want to take it. Problem is they've got Status Nightclub Bangor have these 2 wards here. Lot of ward vision.
Take us.
Down goes the Moonlight Shadow. Everybody's invisible. They're going to see what they can do. Rocket Flare goes out, so Skinhead hasn't actually seen them. Let's see what they can get made for this. Shaw is in a lot of trouble, gets frostbited up. Out goes the Arrow. And he explodes from the Caustic Finale. Once again, another successful Moonlight Shadow gank. Shaw was just a little bit too far forward. The rest of his team was nicely back. Gyro, he's got himself a Centaur Conqueror, so he's going to be stacking up these Ancients. These Ancients pretty much at half health. He's going to be looking to accelerate his farm a little bit from here. Meanwhile, Hutch is going to roam a little bit far forward. In fact, the rest of P4L, they're rolling forward, looking to get something done.
Is being attacked.
To take the bottom tower. Sorry if you see slight FPS drops whilst I'm doing this. It's when I alt tab out just to check something. I really need to get my other screens hooked up so that I can actually look at things while streaming properly. Oh dear. Missed micro there from the Centaur Khan. Manages to stomp and get away, but he's very low on health. He's not going to be useful for many more Ancient stacking. Out comes the Tornado and the Meteor from Crane. Epicenter comes out, does a lot of damage. Mercus is very low on health, but out comes the Viper Strike onto Stoolin. Tay's going to go down on the Gyrocopter. Haha! Blade Mail on the Clockwork though. Ranju stole the Rocket Barrage. Devon and Crane really low. Double kill for Skinhead. Manages to take a lot of damage. Manages to deal a lot of damage there. Ranju's going to die as well. Rectum taking the kill there. And that arrow only hits the creep. So actually a 4-for-2 trade there in favour of Status Nightclub Bangor. They're going to take the top... Well, they're going to lose their Gyrocopter. Going to lose the Venge as well. Or was it the Alk? It was one of the two. I think it was the Venge, definitely, yeah. But P4L going to lose 4, all apart from their Mirana. But she's pretty farmed. She's going for an Ogre Club. So she's either going for Sanj and Yasha, or she's just going to keep that Yasha and go for a BKB and upgrade the Yasha into a Manta soon. Middle tower goes down. SMB. Let's have a look at the gold and XP graphs. And they're pretty much even. There's only about 1,500 in it on the gold. Just over 1,000 XP lead for SMB. 1,500 gold lead for Pezza for Life. So both teams very even. Slight map control advantage for Pezza for Life, just because they've got that top tower. However, the wards, they don't have many wards up on the map. They're going to put a defensive one in their jungle there. Ranju's going to get that up. He's got 3 in his inventory. So that's nice. And that was a very big epicenter from Stoolin there. He got caught up in the end. Moonlight Shadow comes out. They roll up around Roche. Let's see what they do. They're going to rush through the dire jungle now. See what they can spot out. Hutch might see the Rectum. This could be dangerous. The wards drop. Moonlight Shadow fades. So they've got to make something happen now. They need to be very careful though. They're deep in enemy territory. But you know what? There's just not a lot there from SMB. And not a lot done from either team. Very anticlimactic. They're going to push this bottom tower a little bit though. See what they can force out. Tay isn't there. Tay's only at top lane. Does he have a TP? No, he doesn't. He's got one in his stash. He's going to pick it up. And he'll probably TP down to this bot tower. And probably going to see a team fight happen very soon. Both teams sort of posturing up for it. Team fight at the tier 2. Cheeseburger in paradise. Skinhead gets hit by the arrow. Takes a lot of damage. Nothing going to come of it though. I think it would be a bit foolish to leap in there and try and YOLO Starstorm your way out. How's that Gyro doing? He's got his BKB. So this is fighting time. He doesn't have a ton of damage, but then again the Viper does. And Pezza for Life, they're just going to back off. Nope. We'll run away. We're going to go farm. No problem. Crystal Maiden's picked up the drums. Stoolin. Looks like he's going for an Aghanims. He's got that point booster. Hutch, like I said, probably going for either a BKB or just straight Sanj and Yasha. Crane has the Force Staff and the Blink. Super mobile Invoker. 2 points in Wex as well. And they're going to look to take down Roche. Whether or not Status Nightclub Bangor can actually get back for this. Skinhead is nowhere near. He's in base with 2 illusions there. AFK in a little bit. He looks like he's going for a Hood of Defiance. That Roshan's going to go down far too quickly. The Rocket Flare is going to scout it out. They're going to see it, but they're not going to be able to get there. Yeah, they ping it out, but I don't think they're going to get there in time. They're going to have to give this up. Whether or not they go for a team fight afterwards, though, Tay is nowhere near once again, and the nearest tower he can TP to is maybe mid. I don't think they want to take this fight. Arrow flies out, and they're spoiling for it. Who got the Aegis? It was Hutch on that Mirana. And And he's got 2k gold to his name as well. So he's close to that BKB or that Sanjin Yasha if he wants it. I think he's going to go for the BKB though. I think he's going to go for the BKB. Arrow flies out, hits the rectum right in the face. Hutch is going to run away as fast as he can. Haha, take that arrow. But he's happy. He's just going to regen that up. He's fine. He's a tanky hero. Viper don't give a shit. Excuse my language. Apologies. Viper don't give a crap. There we go. Keep it PG. Hook shot flies. Skinhead Dota rolls in on Ranju. Ranju's going to take a lot of damage. Blade mail pop. Out comes the call down as well. No BKB pop yet. BKB pop by the gyrocopter. Out comes the rocket barrage. Down goes Stoolin as well. 4 dead on the side of 4 dead on the side of Pez for life. Tay popping his BKB up. Rolling on everybody with the rocket barrage. Hutch is very low. No age is lost. He's going to drums and run away. So we've got 2 drums on the side of P4L there. 1 on the Crystal Maiden. Wow! That rocket hit Hutch, but he manages to escape with about 20 HP. Zeus ulti, everybody cries. Zeus ulti. Nope, Hutch is going to survive just about by the skin of his teeth. Really nice team fight there. And now that that Gyro's got the BKB, Pezza for life, they had their window. They should have forced it a bit earlier, but Gyro's got the BKB. Viper's starting to pick up in levels, pick up in damage. He's going to be getting an Ag soon, making his Viper strike very potent. And Pezza for life really not getting a lot done in these team fights. Then again, not a lot of pushing coming out from SMB. Roche is already down, so there's not much they can do to take it. So they just push out the middle lane a little bit, lick their wounds, retreat. Secure Tay a little bit more farm. 2.3k on him. So he's going to be picking up that first damage item very soon. Has to be. Nice big 3 stack of Ancients there. Triple stacked. A McGangbang of Ancients. Somebody once told me that a McGangbang is like a Big Mac and a McChicken sandwich put together. Sounds disgusting. Sounds amazing. I want to try it. For those of you who don't know me, I like my food. What of it? In fact, when I'm finished casting these games, I'm going to proceed to eat my own weight in jam donuts. Ha! Because I just went to the shop and bought jam donuts. Aren't I cool? Skinhead's picked up the invisibility rune. Pops it now. Maybe going to look to get something done. He's a pretty farmed Clockwork for this point in the game, considering he was in the off lane. Blade Mail and Hood of Defiance. He's going to see Crane here on the Invoker. Is he going to get something done? Now, Short is wrapping around. Everyone's wrapping around. Cogs pop out. Instant blink from Crane. Wow, that was quick. Those reactions. Even I couldn't catch up, and I'm just a spectator. So Crane escapes from what would have been a very, very bad position. And you know what? I think Skinhead probably should have hook-shotted him first. Even though it was from point-blank range, at least then Crane wouldn't have been able to blink away. Because he'd have taken damage. He'd have been able to force-staff himself out of the cogs, but he wouldn't have gone anywhere near as far, and he'd have gone in a direction that they known. And he'd have been stunned and taken quite a bit of damage from the battery assault. So a little bit of a misplay there. When you know the other man's got blink, you really should hook-shot in, just because you get that stun and damage. You guarantee that you trap them in those cogs for a little bit. Both teams just going to posture up mid now. Waiting to take each other out. 14 kills to 12. XP firmly on the side of Status Nightclub Bangor. Gold ever so slightly in their favour as well, but only by 1,000. Medallion and Vlad's out on the Alchemist. Full utility build there. Benj hasn't got a lot. Yasha's there out on the gyrocopter, so he's probably going to be looking for a Manta at some point. Devon's in a bit of a forward position for a Crystal Maiden. Out comes a Viper Strike onto Hutch. In comes the hook shot. Swap comes in. Shaw traps himself in there as well. Stooling comes out with the epicenter and the full freezing field from Devon. Devon dies. Tay's managed to get 2 kills though. Taking out the Crystal Maiden and the Rubik. Marana goes down as well. Tay's chasing everybody down. Is he going to manage to take out Crane? Crane's going to blink away. Dodge the arrow there. Bit of a Strange swap in there from Shaw. I don't know what he was thinking.
Dire's bottom tower is under
But hey,
siege.
he died very quickly. As did Mercus on the Alchemist. But Status Nightclub Bangor once again taking the most out of that team fight. That gyro with the BKB just doing enough damage to really be an annoyance. And Morana's down for quite a bit. So Tay, he's just going to roll back though. They're going to take that tier 2 and they'll be done with it. Attack over. No more fun. Who needs fun? Fun is boring. I'm going to farm up this massive ancient stack and get enough money, gold. It's probably going to be enough gold for his Manta. He's doing a lot of damage to those ancients. This is nice. This gyro is going to be an absolute issue now. Because P4L, they're not a very tanky lineup. Not got 948 HP, 1400, 1200, 1300, under a K. They've not got a lot of health. A big flat cannon in that BKB will absolutely decimate them. So they have to be very, very careful. And Tay will just dodge up most of their damage with the BKB. Freezing Field doesn't care. Invoker doesn't care. Rubik doesn't care. Sand King's Epicenter. Is it physical? No, it's magical. Doesn't care. So that BKB a really good pickup. And it's really doing work for him. Picked him up quite a few kills. Got him really far ahead in the gold lead. And that is an Ags also on the Rectum. So that's doing a ton of damage. Only costs 125 mana. Insane cast range and a 12-second cooldown. He can get that out multiple times in a fight. And that is just huge. Let's get the net worth back up there. There we go. Still, neither team really pushing their advantage. Both these teams just content to stay back and farm a little bit. And Pezza for life, they need to get something done. They need to start going for some more pick-offs. They need to pick up some smokes. They need to start using their Moonlight Shadow more aggressively. Rectum smoked up. He's going to get spotted out though. Going to Viper Strike out on Stooling, but Stooling's going to be able to blink away and Sandstorm. So he's going to disjoint the Viper Strike. No biggie though. He's got an Aghanim Scepter. He doesn't really care.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Blink Tornado from Crane. Going to drop the EMP. It's going to hit only one. Rectum gets 4 staffed away. Shaw sacrificing his own mana there to make sure that Rectum doesn't take anything. And Tay, meanwhile, is going to take out that remaining tier 1 tower. So map control.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
I think the wards give it to Pezza for life, although that's a very aggressive... Oh wait, no. Nope, it's definitely Status Nightclub Bangor, sorry. I'm missing my wards. They've got control over roughly pretty much all of this part of the map. It's way more. Moonlight Shadow comes out now. What are they going to make of this? Stooling does have the Epicenter. He's going to be looking to make something happen here. He's going to look to maybe hide in the trees, get a nice blink Epi in. 4 heroes grouped up here. No, nothing made of the Moonlight Shadow. I think it was scouted out. And Status Nightclub Bangor have very wisely hung back. Excuse me. A little cold out today, so my voice is getting a little bit raspy. Out comes the hook shot. Latches onto Ranju. He's going to get telekinesis up. Down comes the cooldown. Doesn't really hit anybody. Everybody's going to scatter away from SMB. Tornado defensively comes out from Crane. They're going to wrap back round. He's going to pick up the haste rune, but he's going to get Viper Strike. He's going to be fine though. He's only going to take a bit of damage. He can quass it to absorb the most of it. It's fine. So nice little pickup of the haste there. Nothing really comes out of that. Hookshot comes forward, but nice reactions there from P4L, just making sure that nothing comes out of the attack. The Skinhead doesn't have that hookshot for another 15 seconds. It's going to be up again soon, and they're going to look to posture around Roche. So Roche is now down, now up. Aegis now ready. Who's going to claim it? Status Nightclub Bangor say they want it. Do P4L try to stop them? Let's have a look at the XP. 6k in favour of SMB. Gold, equally 6k. That gyrocopter's starting to get big. He's got his Manta Style now. So he's going to do quite a bit of damage. Another big damage item on him, and he's going to be scary. He's also got that helm, so he can build into a satanic if he wants, and that's where he does a lot of damage. Big tornado EMP coming down. No force staff out. That's going to drain 4 people's mana, but the tower's going to die anyway. Skinhead is going to manage to get the last hit on it. I think Crane could have been cute and denied that. Out flies the arrow. That creep just got wrecked. Who cares? Nobody. And they're going to look to Roche. P4L. They've got nice map control around the Roche. But Status Nightclub Bangor definitely have the best team fight. They're going to send a... Is that a Dominated Centaur in? Just to scout it out. See what's happening. So Pezza for life. They're just going to hang back. That Centaur just rolls in. Look at me, I have 4 legs. Look at me. Do you have any idea how much it costs to buy shoes and gloves for 6 appendages? At least that's what I imagine they say. I don't know. I'm not funny. I've come to realise this a long time ago. I am not a funny person. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. I embrace that. Both teams just going to back off the Roche here. Really so. That's a big creep wave coming in on top lane. They might need to send somebody over to defend that. Is that a stolen rocket flare on the Rubik? Oh, Rubik, such a fun hero. DD out on the gyrocopter now. They're going to smoke in. Maybe look to take Roche. They need to be careful because P4L are there. And they've got a blink epicenter ready. They're going to roll in here. Start taking, doing a lot of damage to it. Expect a big team fight to come in here. Pezza for life, they're rolling round. They haven't seen them. In comes Hutch. He sees them all. Out comes a big tornado. Epicenter is now channeling. He's going to blink in, doing a lot of damage. Tay, though, he BKBs up. He's big. He's golden. He's taking no damage. He pops out a lot of damage with the rocket barrage. Down goes the Vengeful Spirit. Everybody is low on the side of P4L. Skinhead on that clockwork manages to get quite a lot. And Status Nightclub Bangor, they're going to be able to take this now. Sunstrike's going to come out. It's going to get split across a lot of people. No Aegis snipe. No Roshan snipe. That's an Aegis for the gyrocopter. 3.5k gold on him as well. Not looking good for Pezza for life. They had a really good opportunity to initiate in on that. But that BKB just doing so much work on gyro. They don't have enough that deals with the BKB gyro. They really don't. Their only source of physical damage is that Mirana, and she's getting locked down almost instantly. Even with her BKB. They're just ploughing everything into her. Let Tay pop his BKB up. He's effectively invincible there against the largely magic lineup of everybody else on the side of Pezza for life. So a really nice last minute pick. And that was their last pick as well. And to think that Pezza for life, they banned out the Lina. They didn't think to ban out the gyrocopter. I think the gyrocopter would have been a much smarter ban. It's what I would have banned in that situation. But then again, what do I know? I'm some sub 3k MMR trash. Woo! Sub 3k MMR hype! Kappa. That's right, I just said hype and Kappa in actual live speech. I hate myself. I've become everything that I hate. Hookshot latches onto stool in there from Skinhead. He's going to get force staffed out there, and Skinhead's just going to happily stand there. He's got his axe. No force staff from him. He should probably get one, just to get himself out of those cogs a little bit quicker. So every time those hook shots have gone out, there's not been a lot to follow up. Got Status Nightclub Bangor. They've got a creep wave behind them. They've got a DD on the gyrocopter, which has a little bit of time left. So they're going to look to just push this now. Take this fight to high ground. Hutch is going to have to TP back to defend. Let's see what they can do. Tornado hits on 2. Down goes the Meteor and the Deafening Blast. Tay has taken a lot of damage. He's going to pop his BKB. The call down comes down. He's going to absolutely hammer Devon. Out comes the big Burrow Strike and the Epicenter. That's a very, very dead Sand King. Swap comes out. Crane's pulled in, but he manages to force staff away. 3 dead on the side of P4L. That BKB gyro just doing far too much work. Skinhead's going to take quite a bit of damage from the Invoker, but I think they're going to get this tier 3 very easily. There's the Ags on the Invoker. But I think it's a case of too little too late. They're going to fortify, but they've got 3 people dead. Arrow flies out, hits the clockwork. Hutch is going to roll in, pop the Starstorm off. Out comes the EMP as well, draining a lot of mana. That up goes the tornado. Tay's really, really low on health. He needs to be super, super careful because Crane's going to absolutely hammer him. One good Sunstrike. He's invoked it. Is he going to look to get it off? Tay. Wiggling around like a madman. Sunstrike's going to come out. Oh! Almost. Almost. That one scorched the moustache hairs. But Tay's going to just about get out now. It's okay, you can move normally. Sunstrike is on cooldown for another 14 seconds. You're fine. You'll get back to base. You'll be okay. It's fine. 2 javelins now. And the Demon Edge. That's going to be his Monkey King bar. So that gyro's now doing a ton of damage. A metric ton of damage. If he gets a Satanic, if he gets a Rapier, it's going to be an Imperial ton of damage. But they're just going to back off. They didn't take the racks. They only got the tier 3. Didn't take the racks. But then again, they escaped nicely. They got out just at the right time, I think. They didn't lose their gyrocopter. They didn't lose much at all. And they got that tier 3. They got quite a few kills. Having a look at the net worth chart now. Gyrocopter and the Viper very far ahead of the Mirana and the Invoker there. And that Viper's going to start being an absolute pain as well. He's picking up those damage items. Top lane. Shaw and the Rectum rolling out. Tornado only hits the creep wave. Doesn't hit anybody else. Crane, he's sort of facing 3 there. He's almost on his own. But Ranju and Devon are out there. They've been pinged. They can see them. Vibe Strike comes out on Ranju. Oh, that's slow. He is moving at an absolute crawl. Mech comes out to heal everybody. Nothing comes of that. It looks like we're going to have another team fight top. Hutch rolls in. Needs to start making something of this Moonlight Shadow. I think if they pop the Moonlight Shadow now and wrapped around and managed to take out Tay before anybody else, I think they could win these team fights, but they're just not doing that. Out comes the Tornado. Swap comes in. Crane taking a lot of damage. BKB Gyro is up now. P4L, they're going to kite the BKB. The BKB's down on Tay now. Sunstrike rolls out. Doesn't actually hit anyone. Crane is very low. That missile's going to chase him down. Are they going to be able to take it? He's going to ghost walk away. Arrow flies out. Hits the gyrocopter square in the face. He's stunned for quite a while. Cold Snap comes out on him as well. He's getting pretty low on health. Unstable Concoction comes in. And there's the hook shot. Ranju dies. Skinhead, he's on his own in the cogs there. Devon takes the Viper Strike. Oh, slowed down to a crawl again. That's a dead Crystal Maiden. Rectum takes a full length arrow to the face. Doesn't really matter. EMP whiffs. 2 dead on the side of P4L. Status Nightclub Bangor really did well in that team fight. And Tay's almost back up to full health now. Then again, he does still have the Aegis. His BKB's just come off cooldown as well. He might want to save the BKB. Nope, Aegis has just popped. So he's just got a full heal there. That's nice for him. That comes at a time when he really needs it, but he does need to be careful now. He has enough for buyback. Swap comes in, stooling. Sandstorms away. Do-do-do-do-do. And the Unstable Concoction doesn't get disjointed. Doesn't get disjointed anymore. It's nice. I always thought it could be. But they're going to take top racks as well as bottom racks. Without much of a fight from Pezza for life. There's a lot of magical damage. The Epicenter and the Chaos Meteor with the Tornado. And down goes Mercs. I don't know what he was doing, a little bit too far forward. They're going to take out 4 there. Hutch took out Tay on the gyrocopter. I didn't even see that happen. So they've taken out absolutely everybody. And the Clockwork's going to try and run away. He pops his Blade Mail. Hook shots into the Sand King there. But down comes the Sunstrike. That's a full 5-man wipe. So I think they overstayed their welcome in the base. They managed to take out 1 lane of racks. Mid-melee racks are still up. Some bad language coming out there.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked. Radiant's middle tower has been destroyed. Radiant's
And lots of buybacks coming out now. Venge respawns on her own. They're going to fortify, so nothing actually happens. But they do expend all of those buybacks. Tay wasting a lot of gold there. He's also got that buyback gold penalty. But you know what? No tower lost. I do apologise for the bad language there, not like I accidentally said a rude word earlier on myself as well. If you just excuse me.
Rock it on.
So, both teams rolling in now. Mirana's starting to pick up a bit more farm. She's got her Desolator. Yasha on its own. BKB down to 6 seconds. How's Tay's BKB looking? So it's only at 4 seconds now. So it's used all the charges. But he's still got a spare slot. He's probably going to look for another damage item. Either that or he's just going to tank up and get the Satanic. Pop that Reaver on. Get a load of health. And that's really going to help. Now that his BKB's down, he's basically going to have to use it. Try and predict the main slew of magic damage from Pezza for life. And then pop his Satanic afterwards to sort of re-invincible himself. Now they're just going to slow siege in. In comes the hook shot. Ranju's going to die. Arrow flies out. Stooling with a huge epicenter, taking lots of damage. Chaos Meteor rolling through, takes out Short as well. Crane gets a double kill. Tay is really absolutely hammering through everything. They take out the mid-racks. They lose 2. They take out 2 themselves. Crystal Maiden buys back. Rectum doesn't get hit by the EMP. Arrow's going to fly. Is it going to connect? No, it doesn't. It just about expires before it hits Tay. So they take out the mid-racks. 2 for 2 trade as well. They lose the Clockwork, they lose the Venge. Not a bad trade. 2 lanes of racks now pushing in. Veil of Discord coming out on the Sand King, so he's looking to really max that damage. And now that the Gyro's BKB is down to 4 seconds, it becomes an issue because nobody else has got a BKB apart from the Viper. No one else has picked up a BKB on the side of Status Nightclub Bangor, so they are very vulnerable to an Aghanim Scepter, Veil of Discord, Epicenter, along with an Invoker, along with a Crystal Maiden, along with a Rubik. It's a lot of damage. Starstorm also magical. And those BKBs are very short in duration on the side of SMB. Well, Gyro's is. The Viper not so much. He's picked up an Oblivion Staff. Probably not looking for a refresh, probably looking for an Orchid, just to take somebody out of a fight very, very quickly. Orchid with Viper Strike. Ooh, a Nether Toxin, that's going to be a ton of damage. So somebody's going to get nuked down very quickly. Arrow flies out, just to scout out Roshan. Roshan has literally just spawned as the arrow flies. I don't know if they saw the Roshan, but they probably know he's up now. They're probably going to look to take this fight. This is Roshan with cheese. 48 minutes into the game. Oh, it's been a long game. I had hoped it would be quicker. Not really. We all love to see a lot of Dota action. They're going to shadow into the Roche pit. And nothing seen. SMB haven't seen them just yet, but I expect them to fling a rocket in there very soon. Rocket flies out. It only flies out to the bottom lane. So they don't know that Pezza for Life are in there. Ping's going to fly out. I think they know they're in there now though. They're rolling in there themselves. Mex is going to pop down the acid spray. There goes the arrow. Whoa, Hutch. You were very, very low there. Hookshot misses. Rectum runs in. Manages to hit 2 of them. Bit of an odd swap from Shaw there. No issue. Deafening Blast. Chaos Meteor rolls down. Tay pops the BKB. He's going to manage to take out the Aegis himself. That's big. Pezza for Life did a lot of work getting into that Roche pit, and they really lost out there. I think this could be the GG push from Status Nightclub Bangor. Crystal Maiden, I don't think she has her buyback. No, she does not. So depending on how SMB play this, this could be the GG push. Whether or not they go for Throne or if they go for Mega Creeps. They're going to roll in anyway. Gyro has an Aegis. This is dangerous. Now let's see what Stoolin manages to do. Arrow hits Skinhead. Blink Tornado Epicenter. Here we go. Rolls in, blinks in, manages to hit 2. Takes out Shaw on the Vengeful Spirit. Pops the Sandstorm. Rectum's really low on health as well. Tay's pretty low on health. He's still got that Aegis though. And the Ancient now naked. The Ancient now at half health. With a big creep wave coming out. Skinhead's going to die. So's Tay. That Aegis is going to be popped. Mercus is going to take a fall as well. Tay's going to pop that BKB, drop the cooldown. He should just go for Throne. Just go for Throne. You've got enough damage. You can take that Throne out very quickly. But no, he's greedy. He's going for those kills. Out comes Rectum with the Viper Strike. Crystal Maiden manages to get the full ult. Takes Swim on down, but Rectum's going to die. Oh dear, they could have taken that. All that Tay needed to do was attack, move the Ancient, right click the Ancient, it would have died. The creeps are all rolling in now, but he got far too greedy, went for those kills. He really didn't need to. He could have just kited all around Ancient and got a kill. Creeps are going to go in there. They've almost got this Ancient down. Whew, that's close. That's close. Stoolin's going to manage to take them out. He needs to be careful popping the Sandstorm because that will de-aggro the creeps and they'll just go and hit the Ancient again. So it's full defensive mode now. Ancient going to regen very slowly. 3 HP a second. Not much. Status Nightclub Bangor. All they really need is for somebody to walk by and fart on it and it will fall. Aghanim Scepter coming out for the Vengeful Spirit. You don't see that picked up massively often, but it's useful. It means you can swap creeps, which is nice. Also puts it on a 10-second cooldown, which is insane. And a pop of a defensive ward. They know that Pezza for life. They just need to all-in push now. Absolute all-in push. That's all they've got left. 4.3k gold on the Mirana. I think she's saving for buyback Boots of Travel. Would be advisable because they just need to push out this top lane now. Push out this top lane, push out this mid lane, and just Throne. Go for Throne. Nothing else. And they've got to be very careful because their Ancient is so low. So whatever happens, it could be a base race. Super exciting stuff here in the joinDOTA League. If you've just tuned in, this is Status Nightclub Bangor taking on Pezza for life. 52 minutes into the game, 30-27 is the kill score. Status Nightclub Bangor very strong though. They've got that Ancient down to a 3rd health and they've got all of their tier 3 towers standing. Gem comes out on the Alchemist for Status Nightclub Bangor. Like I said earlier, all they need to do is walk by the Ancient and fart on it and it will drop. So Pezza for life, they've got their work cut out. They need to push out these 2 lanes and they need to go. They just need to go for Throne, go for Broke, hope they get it. There's going to be no Aegis. They pop the Aegis on Tay. So they can make it. But this lane's just pushing out far too much, those mega creeps. If they even touch the Ancient, it's dead. It's GG. They need to push out these 2 lanes a lot stronger. They need to notice that Status Nightclub Bangor are all around here and they can push this lane. They can push this lane as fast as they can, but they're not gonna. They're gonna look to defend their only tier 3. That's a Satanic coming out for the Gyrocopter. He is now tanky. Well, tankier. He's still got his 4-second BKB. They're gonna put the gem on him. I mean, he is surviving the longest in these fights, so it's a possibility. Here we go. Rolling in.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Rectum hitting out. Shaw gets hit by the arrow. Needs to watch out. Out comes the unstable concoction. Hutch manages to leap away. Big blink epicenter coming in from Stoolin there. Up goes the tornado, the chaos meteor as well. Is the definite blast going to come out? Nope. So the alchemist dies on his own. Sand King dies as well. He's going to buy back. Shaw takes a fall. That Mirana with the desolator doing a lot of damage. Hook shot flies, but it doesn't latch onto anybody, and Hutch is just going to roll back. 2-for-1 trade so far. Tay back up to full health. Still has the Satanic at full. BKB's down. Out comes a full Crystal Maiden ulti. Tay's very low on health, but he pops the Satanic, pops the cooldown. Flat cannon as well. Manta's out of something. He dies though. Gets a double kill in the process. And they need to be careful. Gem of True Sight dropped. Sand King and Invoker both up. Buyback from the Mirana as well. And now the Mega Creep's taking the Ancient. Hutch, he's going to have to draw a lot of creep aggro. He's going to get these creeps down fast, but he's going to be able to do that. And that Ancient is going to survive, and it's slowly regenning up. Sand King diebacks. That's a dieback there. He's down for 100 seconds. And he's their main team fight. Report Viper, they say. Report Viper. Report Viper. Report. He picks up Boots of Travel. So he's just saying, whatever, we'll backdoor it. No problem. Wishful thinking from the Invoker there. Can you feed one by one, please? At this point, it's going to be difficult. We're trying, apparently. If this is a practice game, I'm not casting a no way I'm casting a third game. You only get 2. Much love to Toby1 there. You should follow him on Twitter. Apparently I dance like him. Nobody's seen me dance. There we go. I'm going to stop interfering in this game now. Interfering. Because these guys... It's going to hit the hour mark very soon. Status Nightclub Bangor, they're just going to roll down mid. They might as well. There's no point trying to breach high ground when the enemy's got a naked Ancient at less than half health. Get in there. Kill something. Kill the Ancient. Just ignore the heroes and attack the Ancient. Easiest way to do it. Creep's going to eat the arrow there. Pipe's going to fly. They're just going to attack the Ancient. There we go. Fortification comes out though. In comes the Blink Epicenter. BKB comes out from Tay. He's going to do a lot of damage. Takes out Hutch almost. Takes out the Crystal Maiden. Rectum's on a killing spree. That's a dead Ancient. GG is the call. Yeah. GG. Well played. Next game. Status Nightclub Bangor take this first game. Second game coming up the away leg in just a moment. And just a few errors in execution there from Pezza for Life that really called that game. They could have taken a couple of fights. They weren't aggressive enough with the what was it? I've forgotten. They were nowhere near aggressive enough with the Moonlight Shadow on the Mirana. I think they could have made a lot of that, and I think we've got a Melk Award candidate there. Mercus on the Alchemist, 0 kills, 5 deaths, 20 assists on the winning team. That's nice.